What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Just back in another video. This is your one-stop shop for anime and manga. Let's get into it. I want to start by saying thank you to everyone who's been subscribing. If you're new here and you like my content and you like what I'm doing, consider subscribing, leaving a like, hit the bell so I don't post another video. Also, follow me on Twitter. Links gonna be in the description. So today I wanted to give y'all a little bit of an insight on some manga that I've been looking forward to and some manga that I really want to collect. So if you see my videos and you see my recent manga hauls, you'll notice I collect manga I consider a weird way, where I specifically focus on one or two series, maybe three series, and I really go heavy into those series until I catch up or I collect it in full. Now I don't know about y'all, but when I look at other manga hauls like on Reddit, on YouTube and things like that, mine's kind of look a little weird. Most people, they pick up a few volumes from a whole bunch of different series, and that's just how they do their manga hauls. But me specifically, because I really just narrow in on a few series, my manga hauls can feel a little stagnant, at least I think. And because of that, I'm constantly talking about the same series. I'm constantly talking about things like Zom 100, World's Finest Assassin, Candies and Cigarettes. I'm always talking about those series because right now those are the main series that I'm collecting. So I just want to give y'all some insight on manga that I have my eye on and some manga that I'm looking to pick up. So let's get into it. As of right now, I've only officially been collecting for about a year. So I really don't have all the series that I want to read. I don't have all the series I want to collect right now. So that's really why I focus on those few series that I want to get first, so I can just knock those out the way and then pick up more series after that. Because my collection is not the size of where I can just pick up any random volumes or pick up a lot of ongoing series, I have to limit myself to mainly things that are completed. But what I'm looking forward to, things I really want to collect, are series that are more ongoing or series that I know have been completed, but they're kind of long in the volume count. The first series that I got my eye on is Blue Lock. So I recently saw the anime of Blue Lock and I really fell in love with it. It's so good. Now me personally, I really do not like Saga at all. I'm not a real big Saga fan. I really don't know the rules or too much. I don't watch it at all. Now, that's not bad because I like sports anime and sports series in general. So even if it's a sport that I really know nothing about, something like golf or something like volleyball where I really don't know anything about it, if the series is good enough, I'm most likely going to like it. Specifically Haiku, which is about volleyball, which I know nothing about, never played, never watched the game or anything like that, is by far my favorite sports series I've ever read / watched, because I watched the majority of it, and then when the anime finished, I wanted to read the rest, so I read everything. And Haiku is by far, I think, peak when it comes to sports series. But I really believe Blue Lock is up there as well. Now, I really like Blue Lock because it has a lot of psychological aspects. And I really like the fact that it doesn't, not necessarily, the worst player on the team ends up getting good because they meet these new players, they meet good players, they work together as a team, everything like that. How Blue Lock is really focusing on yourself. Yeah, you have to play with your teammates, but you really have to make yourself good and find different ways to make yourself good. Because Blue Lock is a little bit different because it has more of those psychological elements in it, I really did enjoy the anime. Now, right now, because of my collection the way it is, I can't really focus on ongoing series too much, and currently the Blue Lock manga is ongoing. So right now I got my eye on it. Hopefully they might do maybe a box set, but I believe Blue Lock is being published by Kodansha specifically. So I don't know how those boxes are going to look. Those boxes might look like Attack on Titan boxes, and if that's the case, they might have to drop an omnibus or something for me, because I don't think I'm not gonna go for Blue Lock 4 or 5 volumes box sets, if I'm being honest. The next series I want to talk about that I really have my eye on is something that I've actually already read, and that's Happiness. So if you've never heard of Happiness, I hear a lot of people comparing it to Tokyo Ghoul, and them saying basically it's like a seinen version of Tokyo Ghoul. That's not necessarily right, I believe anyway, because there is the beginning that's basically like Tokyo Ghoul, because instead of ghouls, it's vampires. So the main character gets bitten by a vampire, and now he has to learn to live basically half vampire, half human. But if I'm being completely honest, that's where the connection to Tokyo Ghoul ends. It has nothing in common with Tokyo Ghoul other than it's a demon vampire ghoul entity biting a human and transforming them into their respective demon vampire ghoul thing. So it's very, very, very good. A lot of people say that Happiness is very bingeable, and I have to agree with that specifically because I really read all Happiness in one night. Now it's 10 volumes long, so it's a little bit of a commitment. 10 volumes is a decent sized series, but it's very, very, very good. I have put a couple of people onto Happiness that wanted to try something a little bit different, a little more psychological, a little more seinen, because this is not terribly seinen, but I do believe is a nice, middle ground between seinen and like higher age shonen, I guess you could say, because it doesn't have a lot of the very, very gruesome aspects of like a hardcore seinen, but in my eyes, I do think it might be a nice beginner type seinen because it's a little bit tame, not entirely. Like, you definitely have to be of age to read this series, but if you are of age, you're gonna really, really love this series, and I promise you, you're gonna finish it in probably the first or second night because it's just something about it that you don't want to put it down. It's not very wordy. It's not a slog to get through. Once you start reading it, the artwork is gonna drive it. It's so, so good, and the story actually is very, very interesting. Now, we'll be honest, it does take a little bit of a dive around volume. I want to say is about 6 or 7. Whereas it might be a little slower. You might not be used to it. There's some stuff that happens that you might not like if you've been reading from the first volume on. But once it gets through that little bit of a slow part, it's about 2 volumes long, not even really 2 volumes, it's going to pick right back up and you're going to really enjoy it. So I really cannot wait to pick up Happiness. I've read all of it and I truly do love it. It's very, very good. And I recommend anyone to just pick up Happiness if you're of age, of course. The next series that I've been looking forward to is 7 Deadly Sins. Now, 7 Deadly Sins falls under the realm of series that I really want to pick up, but it's just so damn long. I think there's about 40 something volumes. That's a huge commitment right now when I still don't have, the big 3 really. I only have a little bit of One Piece, but I still don't have Bleach. I don't have Naruto. I don't have Demon Slayer. I don't have Dr. Stone. I'm picking up Fire Force right now. So to commit to like 40 something volumes of 7 Deadly Sins, damn, I don't really think I can do that specifically, at least at this point. But that is something I got my eye on. And 7 Deadly Sins does have a nice place in my heart because it really got me into reading manga again. So those of you who don't know, I started reading manga after I read Death Note. Now, I truly love Death Note. I love the anime. So I picked up the Death Note manga and I read it. And that was the first physical manga that I started reading. However, before I picked up the Death Note physical manga, what got me into reading manga in general and got me reading it digitally was 7 Deadly Sins. So I got into 7 Deadly Sins when season 2 dropped back when I was in high school. And this is before it was even on Netflix. This is when you had to watch it on some crazy website. And I used to wake up early in the morning, watch it, and then talk about it with my boy who put me on to 7 Deadly Sins. The first scene he actually put me on to was the one with King and Bond, when King introduces himself to Bond after they meet for the first time in a few like 20, 30 years or something like that. I saw that. I'm like, that's crazy. Let me watch. I actually watched season 2 first, and then I picked up season 1, watched it all, and once I watched everything, it was just so, so, so good. Now, if you've only seen the anime of 7 Deadly Sins, you may not like it because the animation quality just took a nosedive for seasons 3 and 4, which is very, very sad because seasons 3 and 4 in the manga were some of the best just action, best storytelling that I really enjoyed. After I saw season 2 of 7 Deadly Sins, I had to know what was going to happen next. I did not know when season 3 was going to drop, but all I know was they introduced the 10 Commandments, and I was like, I need to know who these people are. Now, at this point, I had never read manga basically ever. I've read like 1 or 2 volumes of Naruto, but I've never really read manga. But this is where I was like, you know what? I need to know about 7 Deadly Sins. So I read it all online, loved it, crushed it, and I just didn't pick up manga after that. I wasn't really into manga at that point. I just wanted to know about 7 Deadly Sins. So because of that, I really am keeping my eye on it because I really want to collect it. I'm just at a toss-up because I don't know if I should pick up the box sets or the omnibus, because right now, even though 7 Deadly Sins has those piece of crap Kodansha box sets that are like 3-4 volumes a piece, they're actually pretty cheap when you look them up. They have pretty good sales on those box sets. So between the box and the omnibus, they're really about the same price. I don't know which one I really want to get into, but I do know 40 something volumes is a little bit too much for me to commit right now. But definitely once I've picked up some of the other things that I really, really want to pick up, I'm definitely gonna dive into Seven Deadly Sins. Now, on the note of having all those volumes comes along Haiku. Like I said before, Haiku is by far my favorite sports series. Blue Lock does have the potential, I think, to get it past Haiku, but currently at the moment, Haiku sits number one, and it's so, so good. When I was not only watching the anime, when I was reading the manga, I was cheering for these volleyball matches as if I was actually watching a real sport, which was the first time that's ever happened to me. That's how I know I really got invested in Haiku. And if you don't know what Haiku is, it's basically just a sports series about volleyball, and it's easily has one of the just incredible best character developments and just character storytelling that I've seen in any sports series. I highly recommend it. Now, it is a good chunk of the series that's been animated, which is a good sign. And I do believe the movie that's going to come out is supposed to adapt the ending of the manga. I'm not entirely sure about that, actually. I got to look into that specifically. But as far as Haiku's concerned, I really, really want to collect it. I've been waiting for them to do something like a box set, like maybe box set 1 and 2, so I could collect Haiku, because a 40-something volume is a huge, huge commitment, and I don't want it to be like, okay, I pick up Haiku, I pick up maybe volume 1 to 10, and then the next day they announce box set 1 is going to be released for Haiku, and now I got to sell these 1 through 10 volumes. I'm not that good at selling manga, if I'm being honest. I'm really much a hoarder in that sense, but as far as Haiku's concerned, I really do want to collect it. It's made by Viz, so you know the boxes are going to be nice, crisp, maybe 20, 25 volumes per box set. But until they announce that, or until I get to a point in my collection where I don't really need anything else, I'm not going to pick up Haiku yet, but I do got my eye on it. The next series I'm looking forward to is Jobless Reincarnation. So, Jobless Reincarnation easily became my favorite isekai when I watched it. It was so, so good. The animation is just so clean. The story is really good. Now, I'm not the biggest fan on adventure series personally, because I get a little bored of it when nothing really happens, when they're just walking, talking, not really doing anything, when they're just doing the adventuring part of it. So I get a little bit bored. But Jobless Reincarnation really catches my attention. Like, it has that adventure aspect, but it's not throughout the entire series. So if you don't know what Jobless Reincarnation is, a man who's just a lazy slob, he gets killed. No, I think he just dies from a heart attack. It's been a while since I saw the series. I'm sorry about that. I forgot how, but basically he dies and he gets reincarnated in another world as a baby, but he still has his adult mind. So because he has his adult mind, he decides, you know what, I'm not going to be this lazy slob I was in my first life. I'm going to actually apply myself and learn these different things. So like most isekais, he gets reincarnated in a fantasy world where there's, magic and swordsmen, dungeons, all that stuff. So once he's a baby, he's like, you know what, I'm going to learn magic, and I'm going to use my adult mind to think of magic in ways that the people of that world don't think of magic. So he's pulling out these high level spells at like 5, 6 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old, all types of young ages like that. I don't want to talk too much about Jobless Reincarnation, because I do really think that once you get into it blind, you're going to really, really enjoy it. I think in the community as a whole, I think it's regarded as one of the best isekais. So it's not just my opinion. There's a lot of people's opinions that Jobless Reincarnation is really about that. So I'm looking forward to collecting it. It's by far my favorite isekai. That and World's Finest Assassin is right there, But because I picked up World's Finest Assassin first, I'm really sticking to that one right now. And Jobless Reincarnation is currently ongoing. So like I said, because the way my collection's set up, I don't really have the money really to pick up a whole bunch of ongoing series when there's series that are done, things like Naruto, Bleach, Demon Slayer, that I want to pick up, that I will pick up eventually, but I can't do that if I'm constantly picking up ongoing series every month. It's bad enough as it is that I'm picking up like 5 or 6 ongoing series right now. I didn't think I was going to get to that point. I honestly thought Soul Eater was done when I started picking it up. And look at that, it's basically an ongoing series. I think it's going to be 17 or 18 volumes. I think in my previous video I said it's supposed to be 13. I was completely wrong because I didn't do my proper research. But all in all, it's basically because I don't want to collect all of those series, all those ongoing series at once, when I can just build my collection up with a lot of completed series and then focus on the ongoing ones. So those are some of the series that I just wanted to talk to you about today. because I'm constantly talking about the same series that I'm always picking up. I want to throw out some new series out there for y'all and maybe put y'all on to some of these series that you haven't heard of or maybe that you've been thinking about picking up. So right now, these are the series that I'm currently keeping my eye on. I will get to these, and obviously my list is a lot longer. There's so much I want to collect because I'm still in the infancy of my collection. It's only been, like I said, about a year, and I have about over 250 volumes after that first year of actively collecting manga. So, you know, I'm getting there slowly but surely. I'm gonna take my time, enjoy this hobby, and definitely there's a whole bunch of just new series that like a fresh volume 1s and fresh like volume 2s that I really want to pick up. But currently at the moment I can't because I have everything else that I need to pick up first. So once I pick up all the stuff that I really do love and really do cherish, then I'm going to start experimenting with some series that I really never heard of, and maybe series that I might find interesting, or maybe just series that people recommend to me. That's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments what some series that you're looking forward to collecting. I have a very long list, so if you want me to do a part 2 to series that I'm currently looking out for, definitely let me know. I hope you guys liked the video. If you're new here, you like my content, you like what I'm doing, consider subscribing, leaving a like, hit the bell so no post another video. Follow me on Twitter. Links will be in the description. This is your boy Just. I'm off this.